Hey, this is Vince at Discount Inboard Marine. Today we're going to change the fuel pump filter on a 351 Ford Indmar engine, and we're going to change the water separator filter, which is on the other side of the engine. The original was a Raycor 110 water separator filter, and this is the fuel pump filter, and we're just going to change them out, be ready for the next season. Okay, we take a 3/8 inch wrench, come up underneath, there's a little bolt on here, and you just loosen this up. We also disconnected the fuel line right here. There was no gas that came out of it, but there's usually some fuel left in the bowl, so you want to be ready for that when it comes out. It's just a little residual fuel, not a lot. Once you get this bolt loose, you can loosen up these little screws. There's some of that fuel leaking out. Okay, we've got this little fork piece swung out of the way, which is right here. There's the little bolt that we loosened up, and here's the filter. One thing I like to do is pull these filters out. There's a little spring in the bottom of this filter. You don't want to lose track of that spring. But another thing I like to do is look inside, see if I see any debris, anything floating around that would indicate a problem, fuel problem. This fuel looks pretty clean in this filter. We'll check it on the other one. As you can see, the fuel filter comes with two different gaskets. One with big slots in it, one with little slots. We're going to use the one with the little slots, and you can see that they go all the way around. This is your fuel inlet, and you want to make sure one of these slots is lined up with that inlet. So that'll go up first, and then the filter will go up on top of it. And that's how you index it. That's as hard as that gets. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we're ready to put the bowl back on. The little spring goes in first, then the filter, and then we put it back on the pump. We've got our gasket seated. We're going to take our filter. Our spring is already inside the bowl. It just lays flat in there. Filter goes in. You can see it's spring loaded. Now we're just going to put it back on the filter. We're on the pump. Push it up. Push the filter up. We can slide that little bolt back underneath. Like so. And then we're ready to just tighten her back up, and we're done. You want to make sure that little bolt is good and snug, everything's tight, and then we'll put the fuel line back on, and this side is done. We'll go over to the other side and change it out on the water change the filter on the water separator filter. Now we're going to do the water separator filter. You can see this is kind of an olive colored filter. That's a dead giveaway that it's the Raycor 110. We're going to start with a 15/16 inch wrench, and we're going to loosen this big nut up on top. And then once that's loose, there's a bowl underneath, and we can just unscrew that bowl. And I like to take those out of the boat, take the bowl out of the boat, and again inspect the contents of the bowl and look for any water, look for any problems. We'll go ahead and pull that bowl. And go. So we loosened up the big bolt on top. Now we can grab the bowl from down below and just unscrew the bowl. You don't have to worry about that bolt up on top anymore. And here comes the filter and the bowl. And then we'll take and dump this gasoline into another separate bowl and see how the gas looks that's inside of it. We've got the filter loose. We'll take it out. You can see there's some dark spots here in the bottom of the filter. And we poured the contents into a bowl. Now this bowl was completely clean when we started, and you can see these spots in here. There's a little bit of debris floating around in here, like right there, right there. So there was some dirt inside this filter. It doesn't look like very much. There's also some actually in the filter itself. You can see there are some signs of a little bit of water, a little bit of debris. Any of those little things get into a carburetor, you're going to have problems. So we'll clean this bowl out and then we're ready to put the new filter in. Okay, there is what they call a quad ring or a gasket that you will want to get out of here, and it can be a little stubborn coming out. Looks like that. The filter will also come with an O-ring. You don't use the O-ring. You just take the new gasket, put it in place, and then you're ready to put the filter back on and screw it all back together again. We've got the gasket in place. I just use a small mirror. I can look underneath, make sure that the gasket is seated properly. In this case, we just did that, and it is. There's no right or wrong way to put this particular filter in. So now we're ready to just screw it back on the housing, and then we'll tighten up that big nut once we get to that point. That's snugged up now. We take our 15/16 inch wrench and just snug down the big bolt. Make sure the filter doesn't turn. And you want to make that bolt pretty snug. And now we're ready for next season, and we've got fresh filters. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, just give me a call, 803-345-0996, and I'm extension 3. My name is Vince, V-I-N-C-E. Thank you.